Hi guys, this has to be Tweet of the Week from friend of the show, Curtis Daly, who runs Turn Left Media. Do check him out if you haven't already. He says here, this country is a toilet. No pun intended, I hope. Our trains don't work, NHS shot, housing crisis, and what are we talking about? Gendered toilets. So what's this about? This is, of course, Kemi Badenoch being interviewed by ITV's Peston. Mainstream broadcaster, very famous political or media figure, interviewing the leader of the opposition about non-gender specific toilets. And Curtis is completely correct here. And this demonstrates once again how the media is completely broken. Instead of focusing on just a few of the issues, the important ones that impact people's lives, like trains, infrastructure, privatization, nationalization, the cost of transport, the fact that it's sometimes cheaper to fly from one part of the UK to another than to take a train, which, we should be encouraging people into public transport for environmental reasons, for cost of living reasons. No mention of that. No, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about gender neutral toilets. Don't talk about the NHS where people can't access the treatment they need and the cost that's going to have both on society and on members of the public. How people can't access GP appointments. There was a story this week about cancer and Brexit, how these two things are linked, about treatment, access to medication, the problems facing the NHS when it comes to accessing recruiting staff, I should say. And then, of course, the housing crisis, one of the biggest issues of our time. So many young people can't get on the property ladder. So many people can't access affordable and social housing. So much rent that people have, so much of people's income is going on rent, where it's becoming more and more difficult, practically impossible to save anything for the future or put something aside, for example, to save up for a deposit on a house or something like that. So these are really important issues, but instead, the media and politicians are talking about non-gender specific toilets. See, who benefits from this? Kemi Badenoch benefits greatly from this, because if you're talking about something that she believes she has some sort of expertise in, then you're not talking about things that are important that you could be holding the Tories to account over. What have the Tories done for infrastructure while they were in power? And remember, Kemi Badenoch was a government minister. She can't wash her hands of the last 14 years of Tory rule. What about the NHS? What has Kemi Badenoch to say about that? The housing crisis. She has nothing. So you're actually helping Kemi Badenoch by talking about what's really a non-issue here. Gender-neutral toilets. It benefits the media because this is a hot topic at the moment. You put out, and unfortunately this seems to be the case with the media, you start talking about issues like the trains. It's not going to get much traction with clicks and likes. You talk about the NHS and the crisis within it. You're not going to get much with clicks and likes. You talk about housing, the same story. Talk about non-gender specific toilets, and then you're going to be getting clicks and likes. And unfortunately, the media model is broken because it's destined to this sort of garbage. It's chasing clicks and likes instead of actually providing stories that are relevant to people, which are important for people to see, to understand what's going on in the country, going on around the world, understanding what the problems they face, that when they look around, that it's not normal that more and more people are relying on food banks. It's not normal that people can't access GP services or dental services. It's not normal that people are extracting their own teeth because they can't get an NHS dentist. This is what you should be talking about. But instead, no, let's forget all about that and let's focus on something that benefits Kemi Badenoch. Not that she's actually some sort of expert on any of this. It just benefits her politically because she's able to stand up and say, well, I was always on this side during the discussion. Forget about everything else. Just talk about this. And Phil from A Different Bias put out a clip a few days ago, and he said, this is something that's going to benefit the Conservatives, because this is something that Kemi Badenoch can latch onto, and she's going to use it time after time in PMQs. Every time she's interviewed, she's going to say, oh, well, Keir Starmer didn't know what a woman was. I knew what a woman was. And Keir Starmer needs to apologise. And the whole discussion will be about that, and not about the trains, the NHS, the housing crisis, poverty, cost of living, all of these things. That's what it should be about. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.